The journey of semen retention begins with simple curiosity, but often grows into something much deeper. At first, it feels like an experiment. You want more energy, you want sharper focus, you want control over your impulses. Soon you begin to notice changes. Your body feels stronger, your mind feels clearer, your emotions become more balanced. People around you sense something different in you. This creates confidence. It creates pride. It creates an inner voice that whispers that you are becoming superior. And this is where the danger begins. Around this point, let me pause to remind you to join our Telegram channel. The link is in the description. It is a space to connect with others on the same path. You do not need to walk alone. Now, let us return to the real subject of this video. The spiritual ego can really trip you up when you're practicing semen retention. It's sneaky, you know? It wraps itself in feelings of progress and growth, making you think you're on the right track. Like, maybe you're feeling more focused or confident, but that's when it strikes. You might start believing you're better than others, and that can lead to some serious pitfalls. It's all about staying humble and remembering that this journey is personal. Have you ever felt that creeping sense of superiority? It's a slippery slope, and it can derail your practice before you even realize it. So, keep your eyes open and check in with yourself often. You start believing that you are chosen. You start believing that you are ahead of others. You see men who relapse and you secretly look down on them. Tell yourself you are disciplined while they are weak. Problem is that this belief is poison. It builds separation. It builds judgment. It builds pride instead of humility. True growth does not separate. True growth unites. True growth creates compassion. Ego loves to use any practice for its own survival. Even spiritual practices become fuel for pride. Semen retention can easily become another badge for the ego. You count your streaks. You compare numbers. You speak with arrogance. You want validation. You want others to notice. This is the false path. Looks like growth from the outside, but inside it is stagnation. Creates a fragile identity that collapses the moment you fail. If you relapse, your pride disappears. You feel shame. You feel empty. This shows that the identity was never real. It was only built on comparison. True spirituality is not about superiority. It is about humility. It is about clarity. It is about dissolving the ego. Semen retention is meant to clear your mind. It is meant to discipline your impulses. It is meant to create energy for higher goals. But if you let pride take over, you miss the entire point. One of the biggest signs of spiritual ego is division. You see yourself as part of the awakened group. You see others as ignorant. You create categories in your mind, retainers and non-retainers, strong and weak, superior and inferior. This division is a lie. It only feeds the ego. Another sign of spiritual ego is seeking attention. You want people to know about your streak? You want recognition? You start to live for the image of discipline rather than the inner reality. This is a trap. When you seek validation, you give away your power. You build a house of cards. When someone questions you or surpasses you, your ego collapses. Another sign is when you secretly enjoy the failures of others. You see someone relapse, and instead of feeling compassion, you feel pride. You feel glad that you are above them. This is corruption. It shows the ego is running your practice. The antidote is humility. Humility means remembering where you started. You were once lost in the same habits. You were once struggling in the same way. You are not different in essence from others. You're just at a different stage in the journey. Humility also means recognizing that this practice is a tool, not a trophy. Retaining your seed does not make you enlightened, does not make you chosen, does not make you superior. It simply makes you disciplined. It makes you aware, makes you prepared to grow. Another powerful antidote is service. Use your energy for something higher. Do not keep it only for yourself. Share wisdom with compassion. Support others who are struggling. Encourage beginners. Speak with kindness. Show patience. The real test of your practice isn't just about how many days you stick with it. It's way more about how you treat the people around you. Think about it. You could be the most dedicated person in the room, but if you're not kind and respectful to others, what's the point, right? For instance, when you're practicing a skill, whether it's playing an instrument or honing a craft, the way you interact with your peers can really define your journey. Imagine being in a band where everyone is striving to improve. If you lift each other up, share tips, and celebrate each other's wins, that creates a supportive vibe that makes the whole experience richer. On the flip side, if you're dismissive or competitive, It can turn into a toxic atmosphere that stifles creativity. Ultimately, it's about connection. When you treat people with kindness, you create a ripple effect that can inspire others to do the same. So, the next time you're caught up in your own goals, take a moment to check in with those around you. Are you being a good teammate? Are you spreading positivity? If that's what truly counts in the long run. Or if your discipline makes you arrogant, you have failed. If your discipline makes you kind, you are on the right path. Energy must be used to uplift, not to divide. Remember that the ego is clever. It always looks for ways to survive. Even when you think you are growing, it may be secretly growing too. It will say, "Look at how powerful you are. Look at how superior you are. Look at how others are failing." You must notice this voice. You must smile at it. You must not feed it. Bring yourself back to humility. Bring yourself back to gratitude. Bring yourself back to service. Compare yourself only to your past self. That is the only comparison that matters. Imagine two men. One has retained for 1,000 days, but looks down on everyone else. The other has retained for 30 days, but uses his energy to uplift others. Who is more advanced, it is clear. Numbers mean nothing without humility. Streak length means nothing without compassion. True power is not in holding your seat alone. True power is in holding humility, patience, and love. Semen retention is honestly a game changer. It brings you clarity like you wouldn't believe. It helps you build discipline, making you feel more in control. Plus, it really boosts your presence, letting you live in the moment. How cool is that? It can also feed pride if you are not careful. This is why awareness is necessary. Notice the ego when it arises. Do not judge yourself harshly. Simply recognize it. Let it go. Return to your path. The path is about becoming better than your old self, not about becoming better than others. Every day, ask yourself these questions. Am I practicing for inner growth or for outer validation? Am I serving others or am I seeking attention? Am I grounded in humility or trapped in comparison? These questions will keep you aligned. It will prevent the ego from taking over. It will remind you of the real purpose of this journey. Remember this truth. Power without humility becomes corruption. Discipline without compassion becomes arrogance. Energy without love becomes destruction. Semen retention is powerful, but only when guided by humility, only when guided by clarity, only when guided by service. Walk your path with discipline, but also with compassion. Retain your seed, but also retain your humility. Grow in strength, but also grow in kindness. That is how you avoid the spiritual ego. That is how you walk this path with integrity. Finally, if you found value in this message, I ask you to contribute using the thanks button below. Every contribution matters, no matter how small. It really means a lot when you support us in this journey. Your help allows us to dive deeper into our work and share even more valuable insights with you all. It's like building a community where we can learn and grow together, right? So thank you for being a part of this adventure with us. Your sincerity and commitment truly make a difference.